to 2014, isn't it? September 2014 for the world title. This venue was the Titanic Quarter in Belfast, because you're running out of places to go because so many people want to watch you.
Yeah, look, the Odyssey at that stage for someone who's selling out the Odyssey and for IBF Intercontinental titles against Steve Molitor, you want a bigger venue than that. For a world title, a proper world title. The problem is that the Odyssey is the biggest venue in Belfast, so we had to build one. I think it was the former First Minister's idea, actually, Peter Robinson, that suggested it to Barry. Let's build a purpose-built stadium. 16,000 people there, in the Titanic Quarter. It was a magic night and a really, really like iconic setting for myself. That from the ring you could kind of see up towards Tigers Bay. You could almost see it in the distance. Belfast is very, very famous for having built the Titanic. It was just like an ideal setting. But in saying that, there was a lot of pressure on me getting into that fight because I'd already beaten Kiko and people had just expected me to do it again as if it was just, he just has to show up. And I remember how tough the first fight was. So it was a strange feeling getting into that fight.
There was a bit going on, wasn't there? I mean, there was the headbutt, the hitting on the back of the head. I mean, it got rough.
Yeah, it was a rough fight. But it did. So I kind of hit him with a little cheeky nudge on my head with my head. Purposely, may I add. I don't normally do that. I genuinely have never done it before or after. But at that time, I wasn't really the biggest fan of Kiko. And I'd hit him a little nudge and it's cut him. Actually, and then later on the next round at Steve Gray, the referee, after Kiko threw me to the ground, he punched me in the back of the head when I'm on all fours, and Steve Gray speaks to us both. He says something to Kiko, I'm not sure what, but he comes over to me and says, look, I've let you away with a blatant headbutt. I'm going to let him away with that. So first fair, I suppose.
So after Abydos, you got 3 of the next 4 trips outside of Europe. El Paso, Brooklyn, and Vegas. The heat and the humidity when you got to El Paso in the meeting with Gonzalez. I mean, this hit you, isn't it? I mean, this is like, something that you've never experienced before. Yeah. This level of, air quality, heat and humidity.
Yeah, it was insane. Honestly, the heat was very, very hot. Extremely hot, like uncomfortably hot to walk 200 yards across the road from the hotel to the local restaurant. It was that type of heat. But still, I was extremely confident that I was going to be able to, do a number on this guy. I saw Gonzalez walking around the hotel, and to me, I was looking at him thinking like he was taller than me, but he was very, very skinny. I remember just thinking, I'm going to go right through you. But it didn't really work out that way.
He had you down twice. That was the worst first round you'd ever had?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it was a horrible first round. If you want to combine all my fights together, I'd never even had If you put all my worst rounds together, they weren't worse than that first round that I had in Texas, and it was a shock to me. It was a strange feeling that it had never happened before in a fight, and I had to get back off my. I remember just knowing, sitting at the end on the stool at the end of the first round, knowing that I'm in 1 round in and I'm 3 points down. Like, this is going to be difficult, but I stuck to my boxing and I ended up winning pretty comfortably on the scorecards in the end. But that was a shock to me.